Welcome to episode 4 of Sunday School, and today we are talking about giving up versus surrendering. Is there a difference? And if so, what exactly is the difference? So, going into this, I know a lot of people try to figure out when they really want something and they get tired of trying to manifest it, they say they just give up. They're like, forget it, I give up. And then all of a sudden, boom, it shows up. And they're like, why every time do we give up, does it show up? I'm going to tell you why. Because when you quote unquote give up, you also let go of the resistance that you had around whatever it was that you were trying to manifest. So typically, when we have a dream or a goal that we're working towards, we typically put it on a pedestal. We make it bigger than us, and we put a lot of resistance on it. So the more you want something, the more resistance is created with it. So if it's something small that you don't really care about, those things typically come easy. But if it's a really big goal, you feel like it's harder to obtain. And it feels harder to obtain because you have a lot more resistance connected to it because you really, really want it and you think it's really greater than you are. So when you call yourself giving up, you give up the resistance too. And so to have resistance just simply means non acceptance. It means you're not accepting your current reality as it is or the current situation as it is. You're not accepting the necessary steps you may have to go through to obtain your goal. And you may be trying to fight and force things to happen instead of allowing things to happen. So when you really want to manifest something, you don't have to get frustrated and feel like you want to give up. That's what surrender is for. So surrender is different than just giving up because giving up means you just got frustrated and you try to convince yourself that you don't even want what you initially was trying to manifest or create because you're irritated and you start to believe that you can't have it. So it comes with like a defeated kind of energy. But when you surrender, you don't surrender your goal. You surrender the resistance. You surrender the how. So people struggle with surrendering because it feels like you're just accepting what is and you just have to take it and you're not supposed to do anything about it and inevitably means that you're also surrendering your vision like you're giving up on it in a sense. But you're not. You're actually surrendering to your vision. You're not surrendering to your reality. You're accepting it for what it is, but you're surrendering to your vision. Because even when you think you're giving up, if it's a true heart centered goal or aspiration or dream that you have, that doesn't go anywhere. You can stuff it in the back of your mind. You can try to act like you no longer desire it. But when it's a true, like God felt vision or dream that you have, and I mean that thing that just lights you up and it just feels that's where life is naturally causing you to go. And you even when you try to stop thinking about it, you can't. Those type of visions, they don't go anywhere. So you can act like you're giving up, but you're not. You're not giving it up. It's going to find its way back into your mind somehow, some way. You're going to find yourself being drawn back to it. But because you felt like it didn't happen how it was supposed to happen, when it was supposed to happen, or that you don't have it yet, that it's meant for you not to have it and that you should just try to force yourself to stop wanting it, which again creates more resistance. But when you surrender to your vision and you allow life to take care of itself. Because when you pay attention, life does typically naturally take care of itself. We really don't have to do as much as we think we have to do. Things typically naturally work themselves out. So, whatever your situation is, the vision or dream that you have, when something comes up to trigger you, or you start to get frustrated, or you feel like you're about to go down that path of trying to force something to happen, that's when you stop, you breathe, and you say, I'm surrendering to my vision. I don't have to force anything around here. I'm going to let what this is be what it is, because I know that when I try to fight against it or get mad at it, I'm putting more resistance on my path. So you get to hold on true to your vision and surrender the resistance, surrender the fight, surrender the force. You get rid of all of that and you say, you just know, I'm letting this go. I'm not letting this phase me. Not letting this affect me. I'm going to show up and do what I need to do and learn what I need to learn and get from it what I need to get from it and give to it what I need to give to it, because it may be something you have to give more into depending on what the situation is. If it's a person or whatever, y'all may be there to serve each other. So take and learn what you need to take and learn, but also give what you need to give. And when you realize that you fully have faith in the vision and that it's going to manifest one way or the other, you really don't care. Like, you're like, okay, let this be what it is. I already know what's coming. It's no point of trying to force a fight this. This might not even be the way or the person that I'm supposed to be doing this with. So, what am I really fighting for? I'm making myself worse. I'm making the situation worse. And I'm adding more resistance and I'm not getting no closer to my goal. So, clearly, this isn't working anyway. So, your next best answer is to surrender. And when you surrender, you allow the higher powers to come in and do what it can do the things that you can't do. You rely on that greater force that is within you and that is within everything and everyone to naturally do what it needs to do to bring about your desire. So I hope that cleared up a bit the difference between giving up and surrendering, and I hope that it helps you along your path of conscious creation. See you next week.